What are you making?
I'm making an episode or a show retriever.
All right. Show retriever.
This might be going too deep.
You think so?
Well, all right. So thinking about this like a sort of a service-oriented architecture, we would have a domain layer, right? And then we'd have some retrievers that would go fetch data from places, be they real or fake. And they would have domain models that would return up to the UI, and the UI would look at those models, take what they needed, and transform data out of them into UI models, and then play the UI models. But I don't feel like we need all that.
Well, I think our view model and our display, our low-level model are basically the same.
Exactly. But right now I'm thinking we made that builder, to say with tags, with URL, with this, that, and the other. What would we build it out of? Right? So if we're going from using JSON, our presumption is that we are just we're not using a builder to create that episode. JSON.
Yeah, but that's all right. I mean, we weren't sure we were going to need it, but we thought it was a cool technique and it would be fun to use.
All right.
So.
All right.
I'm not offended by that.
All right. So our data model is not going to be terribly clean, or maybe we don't need a data access.
Well, all right. What I'm thinking here is I want this to be a method, right? So I'm going to put that down here. Private get show. I'm just going to put it down here. All right. And actually, because I'm that guy, this. All right. So then this is going to be get show. Right. Name that get show. I did name it get show. Why are you having trouble with get show? Non-static from a static place.
Because main has to be.
It does. That's right. So where are those things coming from? Well, you know what? That can be static too. All right. So
we'll probably end up moving it around.
Yeah. So this just got a lot simpler. And now for this, what I want is get show, right? I want to return that somehow. And I don't know offhand what the right syntax is for Spark. So Spark JSON. Time to Google. I want to use JSON here somehow. It's going to be like, let's make a static JSON. Static. Now, back in the day, I think it upset you or Dave that I would, initialize things like this. But I don't remember if it was you or Dave that it upset.
No, I think that's probably fine. That's how doesn't do anything else.
So this is cool. So this is the crux of what we do to convert this. This is the crux of what we do to convert this to JSON. But I need to look up the right way to set up the response. You just return it? Just return?
No, we need to return a model in view. Look at line 30 here.
Well, I'm not sure. I think
what are you actually trying to do?
Well, I'm trying to return JSON to the browser for the show. That way we can see what JSON is going to produce, and then we could format things that way. Right?
Right. So
it's mysterious to me that turned gray. Because
it's unnecessary. Yeah. But you do need to pass.
I probably need to set something up on the response to say, by the way, this is JSON.
Right. So if we look at the okay, so there's a second argument to get besides the lambda, which is so you can see for the other page we're passing a free marker engine. So we need to look and see what other engines.
You're thinking there might be like a JSON engine or something,
or even just a JSON engine. You know, what engines do we have?
So you're thinking it should be more like new JSON engine or something? JSON engine.
Right.
Spark framework.
Template engine is the interface.
Well, like the thing I would do is follow that over here, and then I would see what implementations there are.
Yeah.
There's only one implementation of that, which is free marker engine.
So I don't. Okay, I know that's not true. But maybe we're not.
Okay.
Because they, I mean, the Spark Java docs have a lot of examples of a different. But we might not be importing them. They're not in our project. It might be a separate dependency.
Yeah, we only have Spark core. Yeah. Well, you know, for fun, it might be fun to just try returning the object and see if it's got Jackson or something built in. So I'm just going to try that real fast on my machine and see what it does.
Yep.
Stop and rerun and just see, because it might blow up or it might do something cool.
Sure.
No, you never know. Gave me 404 not found. That's annoying. Probably have to spell my route right.
I mean,
so
it would be nice.
That's weird. Yeah, it gave me back the toString of that object. Well, that actually does mean that this should work, although the header might be wrong.
Well, because because you said to JSON, and that should give you a JSON string, right?
Right.
And
I believe that this will work. I just I sensed that there may be a better way if I were willing to like read documentation. JSON show retriever is abstract. Oh, well, because you're doing something and now it's not compiling for me.
I just fixed it.
Oh, fine.
I won't touch it again until you compile.
Dude, quit touching my code. All right, I think it's running now.
All right.
Okay, so that actually worked, and it gave me something that looks like, it looks fairly sensible. Where I'm going to put it in a comment up here so you can see it. So it gave me back this kind of thing. Just trying to format it slightly.
It's
yeah, it is huge, but that's okay. Huge is good.
All right, can you anyway, that's fine. So
I'm gonna trim some of this description stuff. Did you have to make it that long? You did have to make it that long.
I kind of did. It was easy because I just said like 10p. Copy this, paste it 2 times in a row for me. Thanks.
So, you know, this is the kind of shape that we're getting here. And that doesn't look too bad. I mean, that's livable. I feel like JSON did us a solid there. It wasn't, could have been garbage. It's not garbage.
One thing we have to take care of that would make this a little more obnoxious is making sure we escape all the special characters or just don't use them.
Well, do we? I mean, isn't JSON going to take care of that for us?
No, but we're writing the data manually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, gosh, you know, if you think the thought all the way through, then yeah, it makes sense.
Which basically I think amounts to don't put quotes in there,
Yeah,
or
escape them
escape
at
them
least.
when you characters. All right, so I've created a show retriever interface and a JSON show retriever implementation and a stub show retriever.
Okay, cool.
So this get show method you have down here, we can just put, we can make that the implementation of stub retriever.
Cool. All right.
For now.
So I'll just move that in there for you.
Right. Now maybe I messed. Did I think that through? I don't know. I'm not a habit of thinking. All right. So should we be? Damn. Never mind. I made it return a list of shows, but I think I'm going to revert that and just.
Oh, you are? I was just about to fix that.
Well, which way do you want to go?
I'm good. I'm good with it returning a list.
All right.
I think. Let's show. Why is it now? Incompatible data type.
Undo flu bits?
Don't undo flu bits.
I don't know what that means.
It undid the work that I did, bro. Broseph.
How? I'm not even in that file.
Show, get shows. So wait, is it all right? Which do you want it? Yeah, all right.
Let's do a list.
Let's do a list. All right. So I think we're good now on stub show removers. Then main can be simplified a little bit with this stub. I need to make a new stub show remover up here. Private static.
Or you don't even have. It doesn't need to be a variable.
Yeah.
Well,
it does because you can't make an interface with a static method.
No, I meant it doesn't necessarily have to be a class field. Make it in.
I hate when you're like reasonable and shit. It's like, dude, rip. All right, so there it is. Show, what do I call it? Show retriever. My son's here and he's like, "What are you doing, Dad? It's not entertaining to me."
It's not as fun as you told me it was gonna be.
It's exactly as fun as I told him it would be.
He just didn't listen.
Right.
All right. So, so that implies that we have a list of shows now. Fix that in the
So here's another question, public.stylesheet. So to get something into the public area, do we just put it in resources public? Is that all we have to do? I'm gonna make a file.
I think so.
File. I'm gonna do a test real fast.
Now, and remember that you'll have to redeploy because it's getting that.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
Although you could put static file, you could give static file location an absolute path computer.
So yeah, that works. Anything you put in public winds up in the jar and served. I just put a hello text file in there.
Right.
And that was sufficient. I'm going to be relocating now real fast.
Okay. Nobody watch the top right corner of the screen and get motions.
Yeah.
That's what's good.
We're all going to, it's going to be handy cam. All right. And there are socks on the bed for some reason.
That's
okay.
Fine. Where else would they be?
Where indeed.
All right.
Okay, so we could put the JSON file up in the public folder, And then the JSON retriever just has to do a GET request on that. Is that what you're thinking?
So, I mean, we could do that, or we could just like open file and pass it.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be public unless people are going to like write code against us, which they're not. Okay. So
You should be able to find it, right?
yeah, so it should be able to find it in the jar file. So why don't we just make a new file with a proper name like pom.sourboatlife dot
under resources, probably, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put it in resources/com/sourboatlife. What do you want to call it? Episode list.json or episodes.json?
Or shows, since technically
shows JSON. All right, there it is. So now I'm going to take that JSON that we had before, and I'm going to paste it in there, and I'm going to perturb it a little bit. I want to be able to tell, basically, that it's getting it from there.
Right, and you can also hopefully auto form.
I did. Command Option L on the Mac. It will save your ass so many times. In fact, you know, some developers will just check out code, run that, and check it back in, and that's like their day's work. Not to name names. Anyway, this week's show is about penises, is what I'm going to write in there. All right.
Oh, thanks. Great.
Yeah. JSON show retriever. So I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to do, so the get resource thing in Java always fucks me up a little bit, like, because if you do get resources stream, I'm not sure what the resolution tactic is, but it seems like it has to be in the same package as your object or the root. I don't know if it'll find it. Is kind of what I'm saying.
I don't remember.
So anyway, I'm going to do class get class.get resource as stream shows.json. That should get me a stream. I don't know if JSON likes streams or not. Private
I suspect it will be fine. Most I/O things are built on more than just.
Right. So does from J. So it wants a reader. Yeah, new stream. Input stream reader. That's the one. And we'll put this in there. And then the class is show.class. And that's going to get us a single show. So we're going to have the same thing here, collections.as singleton list. And that might be all right. And I think our tab settings are different, bro. I think one of us is wrong and it's you.
It could potentially be. I did not set any. All did.
Ah, okay. So that might work, might not work. Let me run it real fast. I can replace stub show retriever with JSON show retriever and just we'll just see if it works or if we suffer. You're going to make two routes so we can compare and contrast. Cool beans, yo.
Cool. I can.
Yeah, that looks sexy. Let's try that again.
We have the stub retriever.
Yeah, well, eventually we're going to kill a bunch of paths before we commit this.
Yeah.
This is another fun thing for the young developers who are watching. The young developers who are paying attention to the old. You know, when you look at a commit and it looks really beautiful, it wasn't until right before the commit happened. It was not beautiful. It was ugly. It was fucked. It probably was just total garbage.
There was
until
at
the
least
second
one
before.
segmentation fault in there.
Yeah, I mean, the commit is like entertaining, right? The commit is what you show your family when they come over. What the state that this is in right now is the truth. You know, the truth is the developing involves copying and pasting and deleting and screwing around and getting mad and, you know, having NPEs all over the place, which is what we have right now. NPE Online 19. So I'm probably going to have to debug this. I'm probably going to find out that get resources stream didn't work. It never does on the first try. Anyway, this is reality. Don't think that when you check out the code and you look at the commits and they're all beautiful that the other developers are gods. They're not. They're just as bad as you. They're just better at cleaning it up before they commit. So this is another debugging tactic I have where I make everything into a variable and then I can step through it and see when it gets hosed. I often will put it back when I'm done just to maintain the illusion that I'm a functional programmer. But, you know, that's not a good way to debug. The debugger will lie to you and tell you that you can step through things like that, but it's lying. Don't believe it. All right, so as predicted, get resources stream did not work. So, anyway, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. Do we need something like a slash shows or a slash?
That didn't work either. How about /com SourBoat Life?
Yeah.
Shows. That one did work. All right. I'm actually trying it with a watch in the debugger. That's my my other trick.
That's the fastest way, yeah.
All right, so that'll work, I think. We'll try it again in my debugger and see if it works. It'd be cool if I could screen share, but unfortunately, Socorro Internet being what it is, I'm just going to have to kind of believe me.
Just trust. Faith.
Trust.
All right.
So here I am.
Move back over here into the main.
JSON. The reader worked. The show parse worked. Yeah. And so this is just going to work now.
So if I run this thing,
it just works now. Yeah, it'll work.
Done, basically.
I'm telling you, it's done.
Oh, that was easy. See?
I'm
glad we went that route.
Yeah.
Look how easy that was. All right.
Now is the part where I make it look like I'm a better programmer than I actually am.
Indeed. Now, this is going to be created. What am I trying to do here? Like, I'm imagining that this, when we're setting up this Git, we're setting up these paths with Git in the main method, this gets executed on every request, right?
The path stuff? Well, no, the Lambda function gets executed on every request.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Think the get stuff does.
Yeah. So in that case, we probably do want like the JSON retriever to be its own variable. I mean, we don't need to recreate
honestly,
this.
We could get the shows once because it's not like it's ever going to change after it's been deployed. You know what I mean? The show list is fixed until we redeploy it right now.
True.
So there would be no harm in making a class constant for that.
It doesn't even have to be a class. I mean, it just has to be a final method.
Sure. That won't cause it to be cached, but you know, having it cached may not be critical. I'm gonna kill some of this real fast because we don't really need that anymore.
We don't. Yeah, we don't need
or
this.
that for that matter.
Yeah, we can use the stub retriever if we want to write unit tests and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or in that case, it'll be almost more like integration
Actually,
tests.
don't need that either. Oh yeah, you're right. It could just be final up here. That's what you were trying to say.
Yeah.
Your words have been comprehended now. Oh shit, we got a lot of unoptimal imports.
Already fixed.
Whatever, dude. Be that way. So that looks better. And now we've got this file, this JSON file. And it does say something about penises up there. That's good.
And then, basically, I would suggest, just for process-wise, we have a different Git branch for updating the data in general.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We have a feature development branch and an episode uploading branch.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That might be fun. Completely unnecessary. I mean, if there was 200 developers on this team, then yeah, that would be necessary. There's one more than one developer on here.
1.5 developers on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, CSS wise, I was kind of thinking that we should just make it look nice, and then, you know, like off camera, and then on camera, just be like, we could dick around with this like so, and then look at the effect that this has, and basically be copying and pasting from the correct file into.
Okay. I don't know how this works, because what we actually should have here is a list, and don't work somehow, and
Huh.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah. What did you just do? You just changed something here.
I added braces, brackets to me.
I think it had no problem with it because it was only expecting to get one out.
Right, because you in the retriever.
Well,
that's what you did. You got a single show and made it into a list with one item in it. Okay.
Yeah.
But we can solve this problem later.
Or when we have more shows.
If we decided to break it up into different types of shows, but I think this is fine.
Okay.
Right.
So
the problem we would have, though, is if we wanted to put in, well, even then it shouldn't amount to much more than just adding one more attribute and maybe, and then we'll have to add a higher level Java object. Potentially.
Right. But I say we cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
So vis-a-vis the CSS, we have to, mostly what we have to do is kind of decide how we want it to look and pay somebody to make it look good.
Pay someone to make it look like that. Yeah.
Right. You know, we need, I don't know, we need to like probably decide on some colors or something, or it's not gonna, every black and white site looks the same. Probably need to pick a font too. I don't know, we have to do all this shit, but we probably can do it off air. And then I think it'd be fun to kind of spoon feed it to our listeners. We love you guys so much. But then we could show you like the effect of each little chunk and how they come together to form a nicer looking web page. Because it's a little bit different than programming. Like with programming, you know, if I write a function and then I have another function that calls that function, like it's pretty obvious the relationship that's going on there. But with CSS, there's a lot of kind of action at a distance where I have to make this thing look nice and this thing look nice. you know, you're not necessarily making those two things look good on their own, but you have to make it so that they look good together, and it's not obvious how that works.
Right.
You know, you often have to kind of make one element look worse in order to make the whole thing look correct together. And we both suck at CSS. That's another well-known problem. So I guess I should say we're great at CSS, but we're terrible at making things look good. Like, we definitely know the syntax of CSS.
Right. I know where to put the colons and the semicolons.
Right, but
I know how to find an element on the page with CSS.
Right, but it's it's not, that doesn't make us designers, and I shouldn't speak for Brian. Maybe you've gotten interested in that stuff since we worked together long ago, but that was not a strength of either of us. And I think actually when I was hired at the NRAO, there was this hope that I would make things look good. I don't know how that.
Like, who said?
I don't know. I think they had the impression that because I had been a web developer outside the organization that I must be good at making things look good.